Hi everyone, this is Manisha from Aurora.illuminati, International School of English Language. Welcome to our YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the IELTS writing portion, that is an essay, which you have to complete within 250 to 300 words. So I know for a fact that there is an influx of information that is available online on social media platforms, on websites as well, as to what is appropriate for IELTS writing and versus what should not be followed. However, I also know that there is a huge confusion or a gap between the understanding of the students and there's a question that goes on in their mind, what is actually that they should be following versus the information also. So worry not, fret not. I am today going to give you a complete list of tips of the do's section. Those are the things that are appropriate for the IELTS essay versus the don't section that should not be followed at all, which are a complete no-no for the IELTS writing. Right? So let's just jump right into it. First of all, beginning with the do's section. The first thing that you need to follow is, first of all, whenever you get the topic, always go through the question and analyze what's the question type. Whether this is the agree, disagree essay, discuss both the views essay, positive, negative essay, what's the question type? And then moving further, the second thing that you should be doing is analyzing the topic. What's the topic about? Whether it is on environment or technology or education or social media. So what's the question and the topic type? You need to analyze that first. The third thing that you need to keep in mind is responding to all the parts of the topic. For example, they've asked you this certain topic and they've asked you about the effects also as well as the solutions as well of a problem. So you need to answer both the aspects of the question in order to fetch better marks. Another thing that is extremely important in order to fetch your desired marks and in order to not be confused while writing down your essays, drafting down your points first. Once you analyze the topic and the question, please make sure that you draft down your points. Take at least 5 minutes to jot down your points, bullet points only. For example, agree, disagree, which side has more points and more stronger points. So that would help you in order to write down your thesis statement, which is the third portion of your introduction. And I've explained all this in our previous videos. One more tip, the most important thing that a lot of students miss is paraphrasing the question. When you're writing down the introduction, it is important to write the general statement, but it's extremely important to paraphrase the topic. Whatever topic is given to you, you need to write that in your own words using synonyms. So it's great to have a synonyms bank and vocabulary bank in your hand. How you can do that? My tip would be, whenever you are practicing the writing, always have Google in your hand. Google is your friend here. Whatever word you want the synonyms for, just type that along with the word synonym and you will get a list of synonyms. However, in this case, just be careful because not all the synonyms are applicable in all the situations. So context is different for each and every word and each and every synonym. So just be careful about that. Use the words that you are completely sure. Moving on, the next thing is that you need to divide your essay into certain paragraphs. Introduction, body paragraph 1, 2, 3 or and the conclusion, whatever format that you follow. So it has to be divided into paragraphs. And whenever you're beginning your body paragraph, which includes your reasonings and your examples as well, it should always begin with a topic sentence. A topic sentence simply means that you are mentioning what you're going to write in the forthcoming paragraph as well. So it would give you a head start as to what you're going to write in your paragraph. Whether there are 2 paragraphs, as I mentioned earlier, that your body paragraph should consist of your point, your reasoning and your example as well. Now again, the number of examples is completely on you. However, I think the best thing to follow is to just have 2 examples in total of your essay. That is more than enough. And your examples should also be quite concrete and specific. Your example should not consist of any new point. It should just have some statistics to back up your reasonings. That's it. Continuing with the format, you always need to have a conclusion for your task 2, that is an essay. There is no need to write a conclusion for your graphs or for your letters in case of academic and general students respectively. However, it is extremely important that you write down conclusion in your essays. So this is about the structure of the essays. Coming down to the language portion of the essays, what kind of language you should be following. So firstly, you should always follow a formal language for essay writing. For example, we've always been using words like make, take, put, get, going. So these are just basic words that we've been using, and there is always a better word. For instance, instead of make, you can always write create or produce or generate. For words like get, you can use the vocabulary acquire, obtain, or secure, or procure. These are better words to write down. For give, you can write proffer, offer, render, provide. Again, there are always better words for the basic words that we've been using. Then the next portion is using this formal vocabulary to present your opinions as well. For example, as per my opinion, in my opinion, as per my belief, in my perspective. These are just the formal ways of beginning to write down your opinions as well. From this, we all know how imperative it is to write down the passive sentences. So make sure that you write as many passive sentences as you can and write as many complex sentences as you can. Complex sentences, I know there's a lot of confusion related to this also. Complex sentences in a layman's language mean joining two sentences together. How do you do that? How do you join two sentences? By writing down the words like which, where, and, because, since, for. These are some of the examples to join two sentences so that it becomes a longer and a complex sentence, right? Similarly, we need to use a lot of connectors in our task 1 as well and in our task 2 as well. My personal tip would be to keep the connectors for task 1 separate and for task 2 separate. For example, there can be connectors like moreover, furthermore, primarily, besides, similarly. These are the words that you can utilize to present your opinion or to present your reasonings. Then the most important tip, that's the holy grail of writing the essays, is proofread your essays. Whatever you are writing, whether you are practicing on daily basis or obviously when you are taking the exam, it is highly crucial to proofread your essays. In order to just furnish your essays so that you can get rid of all the errors. Maybe there are spelling errors or there are grammatical errors or there is vocabulary that you can improve and write down. Just proofread your essays, erase the words that you want to replace and write the better words or write the correct words. That's extremely important. And last but not the least, make sure that you write at least 250 words. If you write less than 250 words, obviously you would be reducing the marks for yourself, and writing more than 300 or more than 320 words is not acceptable. So write down a ratio between 250 to 300. That's the best one. Alright, now I hope this was useful. We would now jump to the don't section of IELTS writing, the things that you should absolutely not be following in your IELTS essays. The first and foremost thing is that you should not write contractions. Contractions are short forms of the verbs. For example, for cannot, if you write can't, unacceptable. For do not write don't. For should not, do not write shouldn't. For it is, do not write it's. So it's not acceptable at all. And avoid writing the short forms of the verbs, words that have the full forms. For example, TV, no, write television. That is always better, right? The second thing is avoid writing personal words like him, her, he, she, we, us. These absolutely should not be written in your essays. And also avoid writing personal examples. I always tell my students to write the examples which have some data to back them. At the same time, avoid writing personal examples because you're already drawing your reasoning and your opinion. So do not include those. The fourth thing is for language portion only. Do not write simple language. Like I mentioned earlier, make, take, put, these words should not be used. And the words like as, so, but should not be used to begin your sentences. Within the sentence they are completely fine, but do not use these words, these are informal words, to begin the sentence, right? Then the next thing is do not write simple sentences also, always write complex sentences. Do not write simple sentences like single, abrupt sentence. Very short sentences, not allowed and not applicable in your IELTS writing. Moving on, avoid overgeneralizing your opinion or overgeneralizing words. Do not write the words like everyone, always, all the nations, all the people. These kind of words should not be written. These are overgeneralizing yourself or your opinion. Then please avoid using emotive language. Emotive language simply means do not express your emotions. For example, I had a wonderful time, I had a wonderful experience, the nations had an amazing economy. These kind of amazing, wonderful, great, these kind of words are not applicable in your writing. For speaking, they are great, not for writing. Coming to the format portion of what you should not be doing, you should not avoid writing the conclusion. Conclusion is extremely important, as I mentioned earlier. In this case, if you want our help, we have our own writing booklets as well. We have separate writing booklets for academic, for general as well. We have writing booklets for the content, for the general statements, for the vocabulary and the synonyms that you can use in your IELTS writing directly. So if you want those booklets, DM to us, or you can WhatsApp us anytime, and we would be able to provide you those booklets. It will be really helpful for you, and those are the booklets that we created ourselves, and we are all 9-band trainers here, so it will be highly important and highly useful for you as well, right? So this is all about the language portion. Coming towards the format portion. Now, the format of your essay should always include a conclusion. As I mentioned earlier, do not forget to write that, and do not forget to bifurcate your points into certain paragraphs. Apart from that, do not forget to answer all the parts of the prompt. Do not forget to write more than 250 words, or at least 250 words. And of course, please stop using or writing the examples or the reasons that are not related to the topic. That comes under the bracket of reducing your marks, so we don't really want to do that, so avoid doing that. I would recommend you all to practice at least one essay per subject or per topic, like education, technology, or social media, or poverty, or corruption. So it's important to have a list of pointers for that. Even for this portion, we have a pointers writing booklet as well. There are a lot of questions that are covered in that, and you will get a lot of reasonings, vocabulary, and the bullet points along with the examples as well in that booklet. So always you can contact us for WhatsApp us for the booklets, contact us for online classes as well as offline classes. So I hope this was useful, and I was able to answer all your questions and all your confusions. Still, if there is any doubt, or if there is any other section that you want us to discuss, please drop in your comments in the section, and we would love to help you with another video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye everyone. Take care.